Namaste. Welcome, everyone. Um, it wants me to flip my phone. I don't know if that's going to cause any issues or not. Hopefully, it doesn't. But I was inspired to do a live yin yoga class tonight, and I hope that you're able to join me. This class is going to be focused on the process of change or shifting or transitioning. Sometimes when we are working on ourselves and we are kind of in this in-between place between who we've practiced ourselves to be and becoming aware of who we're meant to be or who we truly are, but kind of have covered up with all of these experiences up to this point that we just kind of allowed into our experience without much thought because we didn't know any better. But if you work with me or people who follow the law of attraction, I have a teacher, my pranic healing teacher, who I was fortunate enough to be able to learn from through, it was a facility in Belleville. Kim Fantini, she runs it, and I think Natalie was another woman that kind of ran that center with her, and they offered pranic healing courses, and I was fortunate enough to take that, and Master Stephen Coe was teaching, and so it was cool. I got to actually work with him and interact with him. And so if you follow him, he speaks pranic healing, which the founder was Master Chako Sui, who, and I hope I don't pronounce that word wrong, but I have the most respect for him and Master Stephen Coe and for pranic healing because it's been a powerful tool in my life. And so without going too far off the subject of this yin practice, which is basically centering around change, finding that the ability to not get in our way, to release blockages that could be preventing us from moving forward. It's that we're going to be working with the wood element in the five element theory in traditional Chinese medicine, and that is related to the liver and gallbladder meridians. Gallbladder meridian runs on the outside of our bodies. It comes up, it goes through the side of our head. The liver starts in the foot, comes up the inner thigh, and into the abdomen, and midway into the chest. So these poses that we do in the yin practice will affect those meridians, so we can work with that energy. And if we want to have this idea of like energy rising, coming up and moving, again assisting with releasing anything that's holding us back, releasing fears, doubt, worry, just allowing yourself to let go and to be open to change, which will, by the way, be our mantra for this practice. Just at any point when you find yourself having a challenging moment in your practice, you can go to that mantra and just repeat it to yourself. I am open to change, and breathe into that and allow yourself to contemplate the idea of what it means to be open to change, to allow yourself to do something different that takes you out of your comfort zone and really kind of makes you feel unsteady, but yet you are stable enough to trust the process. With that being said, we're going to start our practice. Again, in yin, just a few things to be mindful of. You only want to go about 2/3 into your pose. You're not going all the way to your max and then a little further past your edge, where it's not like a hatha practice in that regard. So you're actually just about 60% of what your max would be in your pose. The other things to consider are, when you're in the pose, you want to find a place of stillness where you where you're not really having too many thoughts running through your head, you're not fidgeting in your body, you're just able to be fully present in the asana and just experiencing yourself in your body, in that pose, in your yoga practice. The third thing is you're just committing to holding. When you're in a yin practice and you're doing a yin pose, the reason why we hold them for a few minutes opposed to a few seconds is because we're working with connective tissue. So we want to affect the fascia, which is this saran wrap like wrapping that just encases our muscles and tendons and nerves and all kinds of things. It just actually helps us have a shape to our body. Two other connective tissues are the ligaments and tendons. So when we're conditioning these tissues, it's an exercise-like thing, but it's not truly exercise where we want to move it to make it get stronger. We are actually holding a position to apply a stress onto those tissues. That stress, a healthy stress, will condition the tissues to become mobile, hydrated, and strong and healthier. All right, so that's all we need to know. We're going to also, when we breathe, we want to breathe in through our nose. You want to fill up your belly, you're going to fill up your chest, and at the end of that inhalation, you want to feel the collarbones lift a little bit. You can take a pause, and then when you exhale, if you're finding that you're having some discomfort in the breath, you can breathe out of your mouth until that stabilizes, and then when it becomes smooth, breathe in and out through your nose. Again, the 3-part breath. So you breathe in where you fill up the belly, chest, lift collarbones. As you breathe out, you are going to drop those collarbones, empty the chest, empty the belly. So all these things I will work to remind you during your practice, but it's good to have this understanding before we go into the practice. That way, when you're in the practice, you can focus more on the sensations that you're feeling in your body, and then focus also more on your breath, how your breathing affects those sensations in your body. And as you breathe out, you want to feel the tension, you want to feel worry, you want to feel all the things that are kind of causing that instability and that you can identify as an emotion, just to release it and let it go. You don't need to analyze it, and you don't need to dissect it. You just let it go. And if there's anything to come out of that, it will present itself when you stop trying to pick it apart to try to put it back together. When you just let go, it will kind of find a way to present itself where you can understand it, and it's already put together for you. So you don't have to put so much effort into things sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and start with a few nice deep inhales and exhales. You can have your palms up or palms down on your knees. If you want your palms up, that's more of invoking for blessing and drawing in positive energy, which I believe would be more ideal since we're opening ourselves up to change. Anytime you're opening yourself up, you always want to also have this feeling of being protected as you open yourself up, that you're divinely blessed and that this is a safe process. If you aren't feeling steady or safe in that, you can put your hands down on your knees, and this is more grounding. You can maybe feel a little bit more secure. If you want to close your eyes, again, whatever feels right and true for you. There truly is no wrong or right way to things sometimes. Sometimes it's just what works for you and how you're interpreting what's happening at that time. Because things, as you practice more, you'll learn things are constantly changing and evolving. You we reach deeper understanding sometimes. So without making yourself fixated on this or that, allow yourself to be open to now and then, with the focus more on the now. We're going to take an inhale through the nose. Exhale everything out. Another nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale everything out. Once you feel settled and you feel present on your mat and in your practice, open your eyes, and we're going to come into a butterfly pose. So I'm using a blanket, which you're more than welcome to grab real quick. I'll give you a little time. If you need that lift for your hips, it kind of also helps with the pelvic tilt. If you feel stiff in your low back and you can't achieve that tilt on your own, you want to feel both of the sit bones, those little bones right on the bottom. You want to feel them both on the floor and level as much as possible. Let's bring our feet out and have them together right now, and where your legs are in a diamond shape, take that left foot and bring the heel to the top of the right toes. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. We're just going to take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly walk yourself forward. You can tuck your chin into your chest. We want to feel a nice stretch on the outside of our legs. We're going to affect our gallbladder meridian here. The season for the wood element is spring. So spring is a time where all this new growth is happening. You have seeds that are coming alive and rising up towards the sun. And they don't have any idea of what they will be experiencing along the way, but they are driven and they trust that they will be supported and nurtured. And sometimes we have to adapt that feeling for ourselves to move ourselves forward, especially when you're not finding external validation. A lot of times you have to turn within and find that within yourself. We're also affecting the liver meridian, so you're going to feel some tingling and some movement on the inside of your legs, which is completely fine and normal. If you need a prop on the outside of your knees, you can do that as well. Again, we're not pushing ourselves to our total max. We're only going about 60% into our poses. Remembering to be aware of how that breath affects our body and how it affects the sensations that we feel in our body. Remembering when we find ourselves out in the world or during our day having anxiety or stress, contemplating too much, overthinking, and that we just need to take a moment just to come back to that breath and focus on the in and the inhale and feeling the belly rise out towards the sky. We're going to have the chest fill all the way up, all the way around on the sides and the back and in the front. And as that chest fills all the way up, the collarbones are lifting. Just take one little pause here and feel the complete fullness of this inhale, and then exhale everything out, dropping the collarbones, emptying that chest. Now the belly is going all the way back down and towards our spine. We're going to push ourselves back up, And we're going to lean back as we bring our feet to the floor. We're just going to do a little windshield wiper here. Again, focusing on that breath. It's nice to have a rebound pose between your asanas. When you're holding a shape for a while, it will have an effect on your body, and again on these structures that tend to be somewhat sensitive. So again, just being mindful of what you're feeling in your body. Don't push yourself. If you have any injuries, you may need to check with your doctor before you even do this practice. We're going to inhale and lift. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Tuck that chin to your chest. If you have an injury but you're pretty much healed, this could also be very beneficial, but you will possibly still feel it very much. I would support any parts of my body that feels like there's a lot of strain because of gravity, and just make it a more restorative type practice. For those of you who missed how we got into this pose, we came into our butterfly with our feet together, and then we slid the right foot forward with the heel in front of the left toe. And then you just want to walk those hands forward, tuck that chin towards the chest, and you're just going to focus on your breath here. Again, if you have any thoughts that kind of come up that are in contrast to what it is that you're trying to achieve, just look at that thought, and you can even thank it for presenting itself to give you some things to consider, and allow it to go away until the solution comes and you have it figured out and you no longer need it. Sometimes when we keep thinking of the problem, we think of more problems because we're trying to prevent the first problem. So actually it's like you're thinking about the problem and then you think of problems to prevent, so maybe you don't have a problem to deal with in the future, but yet you still have the problem that you're working on, and that you're not allowing yourself to move through or transition in. And so instead of focusing on what that is and why you don't like it and who may trigger you more because of it, think about and see yourself living the reality that you're trying to achieve. Think about what that feels like to be in that truth, and focus on that and start to practice that energy, that feeling. So we're going to lift up and we're going to lean back onto our hands again, bringing the feet to the floor, bending those knees, and just doing a nice little gentle windshield wiper here. Change can be scary, but exciting as well. And so sometimes we just have to, like with many things in life, we just have to kind of suck it up a little bit and trust the process and allow ourselves to have a new experience to see how that is. All right, so we're going to come into a Sphinx. So you want to lay on your belly. Legs are straight out behind you. Elbows are straight underneath the shoulders. Forearms straight ahead, hands flat on the floor. We actually want to come into a tipsy frog here. So go ahead, lean over towards your left as you bring that right knee up and out. You want it aligned with that hip. Flex that right foot. And we're going to be here about 3 minutes. And you can stay in that Sphinx pose. You can bring the forearms together and the hands together. Press the pinkies into the floor. If you want to come down onto your back of your hands while they're stacked, you can do that as well. Together would be the best option for me. Lifting that head towards the ceiling. You want to feel a nice arch in the low back. Again, allow yourself to feel the sensations in your body. See if you notice energy running up and down those lines on the inside and outside of your legs, up through the abdomen, on the ribs and on the waist, going up into your head. Shifting, moving, balancing. Releasing, disintegrating, clearing any blockages you have. Just let it move through your body. I know it's exciting sometimes when you notice things that you never noticed before. I won't say don't, but it's better if you just allow yourself to continue to allow the experiences to come to you, to unfold. This is how we are. Like, we have that knowing, we have that understanding, we have a connection to a healthier, brighter, clearer self. That as long as we practice staying clear, practice being mindful to not let our emotions override that circuit, or that, making us too sensitive, we're going to just take a transition pose here. So let's bring the feet out to the corners. You're going to stack those hands, drop your head on the back of your hands, and just rock out your hips here. We want to keep our nervous system calm. And it just allows us to stay aware and to be a part of the process without stopping it or shutting it down because of fear, or even too much excitement could kind of shut things down. So we're going to take that left leg out to the side. You want to line up that knee with the hip, flex that right or left foot. And I like to go down for just a few breaths. Rest my head on the back of my hands. Take a few breaths here. Let my lower body relax into the pose, into the floor, finding the support. Take a few breaths so your body can kind of shift, acclimate to this pose, to the structure, like the shape of the pose of the asana. We're going to come back up onto those forearms. Hands together. Just a few breaths here. Again, allowing lines of energy to run through your body, clearing out the meridians, balancing all your subos. Any jitsu or kyo subos are being balanced and regulated. Any blockages are cleared and released. And just let it move through your body. As that energy moves, the physical body follows. Again, at any time you find yourself fighting or having resistance, just repeat the mantra, I am open to change. I allow change into my life. I welcome change. We're just about there. Again, remember we hold these poses for a few minutes so we can put stress on these somewhat fragile structures, the connective tissue. That's so important. And truly, if we didn't have, none of this would really work very well. We're going to go ahead and bring that left leg back. Stack your hands, bring your head onto the back of your hands, and we're just going to rock your hips out here a little bit. You can imagine bringing in, as you breathe in, all the positive, supportive energy of angelic beings, masters, saints, Supreme Source, Holy Divine Mother and Father. And as you breathe out, you're releasing all the stuff, drama, insignificant ideas or thoughts that you have that hold you back, that keep you held down into feelings that don't serve you any longer. Just let that all out. And we are going to come up into and actually go on our back. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember what I wanted to do next. We are going to lay onto our backs and we're going to come into what's called fallen palm tree. So it's somewhat similar to a banana pose. So if you lay on your back, you can bring your legs out to the corners of your mat and your arms down to your side. Go ahead and walk that right leg over as far as you can. Bend that left foot into that right inner thigh, right above the knee. Shift the upper body. Actually, I have it the wrong way. You want to straighten the left leg, bend the right knee. Put that right foot on the inside of the left knee. Straighten your arms up overhead. And we will be here for 2 minutes. You can grab the outside of your left wrist with your right hand. You can bring it down towards the elbow if you want. And we're just going to, again, focus on our breath. Feeling the sensations in our body, any restrictions. We want to breathe into those areas, expanding that space as we breathe in. And then when we exhale, we're releasing that tension out of our body, out of that tissue, out of that fascia. If you feel like your body is released some more, you can go a little deeper by scooching over towards the right with just the upper body. You can move that left leg towards the right if you want a little bit, and then bring that right hand down by the elbow on the left arm, reaching up straight out from the armpit on that left arm and pulling it towards the right to get a nice deep side body stretch. Go ahead and release that arm. Scoot the upper body back over to the center. You want to bend those knees, walk those feet wide, the knees together, hands down by your hips. Just want to take a few breaths here. And let's sit up for the other side. I am going to switch my ends. And so now we just want to walk your legs over to the left. Bend that left knee, bring that left foot on the outside of, or the inside of the right knee. Walk the upper body towards the left. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes. And again, reach that right arm straight up overhead and bend towards your left side, grabbing that right wrist with the left hand. You can keep looking straight up, or you could turn your head towards the left. I want to feel a nice deep side body stretch, really working that gallbladder meridian. If you feel like your body's released quite a bit, you can scoot the other upper body up towards the left, and then the lower body towards the left, just a tad bit more. You want both shoulder blades on the floor, and you want to keep both of your hip bones on the floor as well. Well, both glutes, we'll say that. Gonna release that upper body, scooch it back towards the center. You want to bend those knees, feet wide, knees together, hands on belly. Take a few breaths here. We're going to come into what's called a reclined shoelace pose. So take your right leg. You want to stack the right knee on top of that left knee. And go ahead and hug those knees into your chest. And we're just going to be here for about 2 minutes. You can grab on the knees, the ankles, the shins, whatever feels comfortable to you. Again, 2/3 of your max. Again, breathing into your body, feeling the sensations, feeling that energy move through your body. And letting go of what no longer serves you, and opening yourself up to allow for a better change. Even if you're currently living your best life, let yourself be open to better. Again, trusting, having faith. You have a strong connection. You're supported. Things are always working out for you. Life is meant to be enjoyed. We're meant to have fun. We're allowed to make our lives fun and enjoyable. When you're finding yourself bogged down in constant worry and thinking that makes you feel unhappy or feel a certain kind of way, you want to maybe give yourself a break from that and go find things that make you happy again and make you feel good, that provoke better feeling thoughts, that keep that momentum of that happy feeling, that good energy flowing in your mind and your body and your spirit. We're going to release those legs. I think we went a little longer than 2 minutes, but that's okay. We were in a moment. Bend your knees. Take them together, feet super wide apart. Let's drop our knees over to the left. Lift your head up and look over that right shoulder. Palms are up. We're just going to be here 3 minutes. We're just about there. going to bring those knees back up toward the ceiling. The head back towards the center. Bring the knees together, feet wide. Take a few breaths here. Feel the difference between the left and right side of your body at this time. Notice any feelings of coolness, maybe warmth that you're feeling in your body that's energy shifting. And we're going to set up for the other side, which all you need to do is take that left leg over the right, lining up the knees if you can. Straighten out the upper body, elongate through the spine. You can bring the knees to the chest, grabbing on the shins, the ankles, or your knees. We're going to be here for about 2 or 3 minutes. Feel those areas of restriction, tension. You want to take that nice deep inhale through the nose, breathing the air, the energy all the way into your body, into those tight, restricted areas. You want to feel an expansion of that space as you continue to breathe in, and then exhale all the tension out. Let your body sink into the floor. Feel the gravity pulling the tissues towards the floor. Feel nice little tiny stretches throughout your whole body. You might find there's places that are tense that you didn't even know there was going to be tension there, that you would never think you would feel tension in that area. Just becoming mindful and aware of where we hold the tension in our body can be so helpful. Knowing when that tension is building up and causing us to knot up and kind of freeze up a little bit, we allow ourselves to take a moment to breathe into our body, to stretch our body, to move the blood through the body, bringing chi and oxygen into our cells to help support the body do what it needs to do to stay healthy and whole. Sometimes there can be a tendency to try to do too much to overcompensate for maybe something you haven't been doing. That can cause issues for us. Again, staying mindful, being in the moment. We're going to release the hold on our legs, bring them down, uncross the leg, bring the knees together, feet super wide apart. Take a nice inhale, exhale, drop those knees to your right. Inhale again, lift your head and look over that left shoulder. Again, anything that comes up that maybe starts making you think about why you can't change or why you can't do the things you want to do, just acknowledge those thoughts and say thank you, but no thank you, and just let them go. Just let them go, release them.
Even if it is totally your situation, instead of thinking about that, think about what can you do to change your situation in a healthy manner for the highest good of all involved. How can you do what you want to do and everybody else still be happy? And allow your mind to see those solutions, to have those thoughts, to think about your situation in that way. Allow change to be fun and exciting. You're ready for something different. Like Esther Hicks would say, when we have an experience or manifest as something that we wanted, it's like you chewing the gum and the flavor's all gone. It's done. You want to go to the new thing, the next thing, and you just keep doing that over and over and over. And don't worry about if something bad may happen, because if you're focusing on the good, you're going to create more of the good. Of course, bad happens in life and you deal with it when it happens, but to be concerned and over concerned and worry about it is not going to stop it from happening. The more you generate good, positive energy, the more good you do in the world to create like a good karma, the better you're able to handle those more not so good situations. The more support you seem to have around you, the more resources you seem to be able to draw from. Again, I am open to change. I allow change into my life. I embrace change. We're going to inhale, bring the head to the center, engage your core, lift those knees back up to the middle, bring them together, feet wide. Going to take a few breaths here. We're going to get ready for our Shavasana. Go ahead and straighten your legs out, bringing one heel out towards the one corner and then the other heel out to the other corner. You're going to tuck those shoulder blades down your back and toward one another. If you feel like you need some length in your neck, lift your head up, look at your feet, and lower your head back down. And allow yourself to surrender into the support of the ground, giving yourself a nice, warm, energetic kudos, a pat on your back for coming to your practice today, showing up for yourself, supporting yourself, giving yourself permission to change, to be open to change, to allow something different, more productive and effective to come into your life.
Loyal heart, the essential meaning, fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message, evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you, no matter the outer circumstances in your life. Trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. The protection message. Are you stubborn or overly tenacious about an idea? Or have you become so attached to something that you just don't know how to let it go? Could it be that it's become so much a part of you that you wouldn't know who you are without it? Now is the time to look at outdated beliefs, old ideas, and misplaced loyalties. Betrayal is only a signal that it is time to prune away all who don't deserve your trust and have no place in your life. Be new, think new, and open your heart to new things. Let go of the old and all your attachments. Spirit has an awesome plan for you. Make some room. I always love how the cards go with the theme of the practice, and you see that I just pulled it. Anyways, because that's just how it goes. Alrighty, so we're going to start to come back into our bodies now. Let's go ahead and wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes. Go ahead and bring your feet together, your arms up overhead and together. Inhale, take a nice deep inhale, stretching through the whole length of your body. And then you want to exhale, roll over onto your right side. And you can take a few breaths here. And then go ahead and push yourself up, and we'll meet in a sitting, easy cross-legged position with our hands palms up. And we'll just take a few breaths together. Inhaling through our nose and exhaling through our mouth. One more nice deep inhale and exhale. After our next inhale, let's chant the mantra Om. Nice deep inhale. Drop your hands down to the floor. Inhale, look up at the ceiling, bringing your hands together, drawing them down in front of your face, in front of your heart. Peace and namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you were able to see me okay, because earlier I said I needed to flip the camera and I didn't, so I don't know what happened. And I plan on doing more Facebook Live or YouTube videos. If you have any requests for anything that you might be dealing with, if you want me to address that in one of our sessions, please let me know. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Namaste.